Hey everybody, John Schumacher here along with my partner Michael Bloom, and welcome to Health Jams, the online marketing forum for healthcare entrepreneurs, episode 4. And today we're talking about how to get seen on Google, SEO made easy. And we have a special guest this evening, a guest expert who's an SEO coach who's going to be walking us through the nuts and bolts of how to set up your content so that Google will filter it and store it and index it correctly for you to help you get more free organic traffic to your business, to your content, so you can sell more of your products and services. So I think we all know that SEO, or search engine optimization, is an important thing to learn about, although it's kind of a scary word, a very murky, mysterious word for a lot of people. So we're going to look to debunk that and shoot away the mist over that topic today with our guest experts and have a lot of fun doing it. We're going to do about a 30 to 45-minute slideshow, really get into the nuts and bolts, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A at the end. And that's what we're doing today, so I'm going to pass it over to Michael. Michael.
Hey everybody, it's so great to have you back here for another episode of Health Jams. I'm really excited about this topic because SEO, search engine optimization, is probably one of the most important things that we can learn about, but I always think it's quite mysterious at the same time. So I'm sure that Anthony is going to help us take some of the mystery out of this topic so we can start doing some hopefully simple tweaks in our site so we can get more attention, more visibility on Google. So I'm really looking forward to it. As always, and if you're new to Health Jams, to our show, welcome. Just to let you know, we are using Google Hangouts on Air technology, and we are live, so sometimes things a little funky can happen. 99.9% of the time, if you have an issue, it's usually on your end, and if you just refresh your browser, we should come right back up. If something happens on our end, we will do our best to pop back on and return, as soon as possible. But typically nothing happens, and I'm confident nothing will happen tonight. So knock on wood. So without further ado, let me turn it back over to John. Oh, just one other quick thing. As you have questions, I'm going to be tracking the questions that you type into the chat box. So feel free to enter your questions at any time. Just as you think of them, we will keep track of them. And at the end, we're going to share them with Anthony. But if something really burning, pressing comes up, I will jump in with that question and let Anthony know. So, John, why don't you get Anthony kicked off and start it? So.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, so as I said earlier, we're talking about SEO today, and we're going to really just jump into it here in just a minute to just go through the presentation and give you the nuts and bolts of how to do this so that it debunks the mystery a little bit. So today, our special guest, our guest expert, is Anthony Tran, who is an SEO expert, much sought after SEO expert, who helps his fellow entrepreneurs drive traffic to their websites, to their businesses, so they can take advantage of that free organic traffic that Google sends your way if you index your content correctly. So Anthony's been kind enough to come on, share his expertise. He spent a lot of time learning this stuff, a lot of dollars learning this stuff, and he does this for a living full time. So we're really excited to have him and learn from him, just like you are tonight. So Anthony, thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to bring you on, and you can say a little hi and jump into the meat of the course today.
All right. Well, hi. My name is Anthony Tran, as John had so graciously introduced me. So much, John and Michael, for having me here. And yeah, I just want to be able to share SEO and break it down into simple things that you can actually apply to your business. Obviously, there's a lot to learn, so I'll cover just the ground foundation and the basics in this thing, but obviously if you have questions along the way, I'll be more than happy to answer them as they come along.
Good. All right, well, you ready to jump into the meat of the content then?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get started.
And guys, if you have questions, just put them in the chat bar. We're going to have a special section at the end, but for Q&A, but ask away.
Okay, so before we begin, I just want to confirm that you guys can see the slide in front of me.
Looks good on my end. I can see fine.
All right, guys. So yes, we are here to get your website be seen on Google, and I want to break down SEO and make it easy for you. So you have there's two goals with Google and SEO. You really want to get ranked on Google because it's the #1 search engine out there. The second and third is Bing and Yahoo, and those combined are not even close to what Google has to offer. as far as free organic traffic. So just quick about me. I was in the military. I also used to work in a corporate environment, and I'm married. I have a son. We love to go camping, as you can see. And you may be seeing me around with some other familiar faces in the industry with Cliff Ravenscraft. He was my podcast coach, and John Lee Dumas. He was also a mentor of mine, and some other faces. So the reason why I'm here is because you probably feel the same way when you watch this video. When you first are creating your, oops, this video doesn't want to play. Okay, so when you're first dreaming of creating a website, everything's just happy. You build your website, and then you get frustrated. You're like, where's all my traffic? I don't know what's going on. And so this is what happens.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh. That was good.
So there's this level of frustration, right? There's like, you built your website, you put all this time and effort into building your products and services, but then nothing happens. There's no traffic. Because everybody focuses on building the website first, and then they immediately offer whatever the product and service, and they're looking for the money to come in. And they ask the question, what's going on? What happened? Well, the missing piece of the puzzle is you need traffic, and you need a lot of it. And Google is going to offer you that traffic. So that's why we're here today and talking about this subject that's so important. And obviously, why is it, as I mentioned, why does it matter to you? It's the missing piece. It's the secret to making money online. When I started generating traffic from Google is when I started making affiliate income, when I started making money from Google AdSense. It was when people started signing up on my email list. It's literally, it's the universal recipe for success. But why do you want to focus on Google SEO? Obviously, there's all these other types of traffic generation. You could go social media with Facebook and Twitter and do ads and pay-per-click, all that good stuff. But here's the truth. The truth is 82% of internet users use search engines, and they use the organic search engines. And almost 93% of online experiences start with search engines. So you want to obviously be in front of these people who are searching. And in 2013, there was almost 5.9 billion searches on Google per day. That's a lot of people that are trying to find information. And if you can't do SEO for your website.
Nope.
Did we lose
Hello,
Anthony?
Anthony? Uh-oh. Bear with us, guys. We'll try to
Nobody's
get
going
Anthony.
to find your website.
Oh. Hello.
Anthony, if you can hear us, your sound has gone off for a moment. Maybe try coming off the screen.
You guys.
Back.
Hello. You guys can
Hello,
hear me?
Anthony. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, you were cutting out a little bit.
Are you guys? Am I back on?
Yeah, there you are.
Now. You are now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Go back to your slides then.
Okay. So.
Yeah. Use the desktop option again. There you go.
You guys good?
Yep, you're good.
We are. Yeah, it's just your sound disappeared for a moment, but you're
Okay.
back, so it's all good.
So here's the SEO recipe. There's really 4 things that I'm going to talk about today. Number 1 is keyword research, and we'll get really into that, and you understand what tools are available to do keyword research. 2 is you have to have really valuable content, and we'll talk about some on-page SEO and backlinks. And why this is all important, because Google wants essentially 2 really important things. They want really valuable content that's related to what people are searching for, because if they can give the user the best experience and provide them the most relevant, important articles, then essentially people are going to want to advertise on Google, and that's where Google makes all of their money. So recipe number 1 is keyword research. And there's 3 tools that I'm going to recommend for you. Number 1 is Google Keyword Planner, and that's what you see on the screen, the screenshot. That's a free tool that Google offers. They allow you the ability to check on Keyword Planner and research a specific keyword so that you can see what the average monthly searches are. So for example, in this particular screenshot, the keyword how to stop snoring averaged about 49,000 organic searches per month. There's almost 50,000 searches a month about how to stop snoring. So now you can see that this is obviously a problem that people have, And if this was your niche, you would want to be able to use this keyword in your content so that you can get it ranked and be found on Google. There's other two tools, which is Market Samurai and Longtail Pro, and those are paid tools. So you can use those and purchase them. There's some really great features, and then if I have time, I'll try to get into Market Samurai so you can just see what it looks like and why it's a really cool tool to use for keyword research. So recipe number 2 is you want to provide valuable content. Now, one of the things when I say valuable content, you're like, well, what does that exactly entail? Google loves text. They love words, and that's why they love blogs. Because blogs provide a couple things. Blogs are consistently updated, whether it's on a weekly basis, monthly basis, but it's always new, fresh content that's being added. The other thing is, majority of it is with word text. Google can't necessarily read what an image is. You can provide an image text to tell what it is, but they can't read it. So you have to provide the text in some way or fashion. The other thing is, for example, if you have videos, in order for Google to know what's inside of your video, you have to upload text transcripts. So ultimately what I'm trying to say is, if you blog, make sure you blog often and blog with a lot of words. I recommend at least 1,500 to 2,000 words per article. There used to be a notion where people would create blog posts, maybe 350 to 500 words, and they would get ranked easily. Those days are over. Nowadays, it's the mega posts, those 1,500 plus word blog posts, that are the ones that are dominating the search engines. So I really want to highlight that write really valuable content and long posts instead of short posts that are about 500 words.
Hey, Anthony, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So for video content, we like using like YouTube, for example. What are some of the strategies there? I mean, you said uploading transcripts. Are you getting your videos transcribed and uploading them, or how do you maximize that?
Yes. So I can actually break away from this screen so you can see, for example, when you go to YouTube and you search for the keyword Google Trends, I pop up as number 1 right here.
Uh-huh.
There was a couple things that I did to this video for some of you who want to optimize for video. Is I put the keyword Google Trends in my title. I made sure that in the description I had it too here, so Google Trends, and I also put it in a tag. But what you mentioned, what you were asking for is like, okay, how do I get Google to read my video? So in this video, I actually have transcripts. You see how the subtitles show up?
Mm-hmm.
So I transcribed this video and made sure I added all the words. Now Google knows exactly what this video is about. And this also helps when you are searching on Google and people search for Google Trends, how to do market research.
So doesn't YouTube automatically give you a transcript, but they kind of mess it up? It's like
They
not
mess
the
it
best.
up. Yeah, I don't recommend their personal transcript. I would recommend you do yours. So, for example, this same video that's ranked in YouTube is also ranked when I search in Google. So there's a benefit of doing video and taking the time to transcribe, because now you're getting found on Google and you're getting found on YouTube.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And let's see. So when you're creating your blog posts, you want to make long content. You want to make sure that's related to your particular niche or industry. You want to make sure that you have images, and we just talked about videos, so include videos into your post if you can, because that definitely helps. And also link out to authority sites. This is really key because a lot of people, they don't know that if you link out to authority sites, it actually helps with your search engine optimization. What I mean by that is I created this blog post for Cliff Ravenscraft podcasting A to Z course. And as you can see, when I type in podcasting A to Z review, I show up in the first of Google. And there was a couple things, reason why this helped. So I'm just going to go over what I just talked about. So this blog post, the reason why it ranks is because it's a really big blog post. I think it's about 2,500 words. I have my keywords in my title. I have my pictures, and I have a video too, which I transcribed as well. And then I also link out to Cliff Ravenscraft. So right here, there's a link. When you click on this, it shows up to Podcast Answer Man. So why is this important? Is because when you are sharing other people's information and sites, it tells Google that you are a source of information. You not only share content on your own website, but you are willing to share other valuable content in the web. So it's important to have links to authority sites.
How long did it take you to write that blog post? I mean, that's a beautiful blog post with a lot of work in it. I mean, did that take a
Yes.
long time to do?
Uh, it did take me a couple hours to do it. And some people ask, like, is it better to write mini posts and have a whole bunch of posts, or to publish one big post? I would always go with one big post. If it takes you a week to do this, then by all means do it, because this is what's going to be found on Google. If you write 5 small mini posts on a daily basis and none of it gets found, then all your time and energy is not is essentially wasted, in my opinion. But if you can do one big post that everyone can see, and when they find on Google, that's where all your traffic is going to come from.
Anthony, a quick question for me. If with the link to the source experts, do you just recommend doing one external link, or could you have multiple? Would
You can
it
have,
benefit you more?
I recommend at least 2 to 3 per
Okay.
article if you have a large article like this. If it's a smaller article, like 1,000 word, maybe 1 to 2 is fine. Um, but in this particular article, I think I linked out to Cliff, and I linked out to Pat Flynn's Smart Passive Income as well. So I have the link
Excellent.
here. So you can see I'm linking to valuable resources that I reference in my article.
What about your images? Do you use like the alt text on that, or do that in WordPress, right? In the description and whatever keyword you're targeting.
Yes. So for example, when I Google podcasting A to Z, what you're going to see is these images also get ranked on Google. So this, let's see, this image was from my, let's see, where are these images? Well, they were here the other day. Maybe they got moved. There was a Google algorithm update over the weekend, so some of the things have gotten changed around. But typically, if you provide tags into your web on your images, they can also get ranked on the images screen right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'll definitely dive into WordPress if we have some time, and I'll show you all the things that we're talking about. So I'm just gonna move on to kind of talk about some of the other recipes, and then I'll go, like I said, into the live action demonstration. So the other thing for the recipe number 3 is how you optimize your website. This is called on-page SEO. And there's a couple of things that you need to do. You need to have your keywords and your title and your web address linking within your content and your meta tag. So I'm going to go back to that original podcasting A to Z, and I'll kind of explain what I mean by all that. So for on-page SEO, you want to make sure that your keyword is in your title of your article. So right here you can see it's podcasting A to Z review. I don't know if people can see, but in my web address up here, it's also in the web address, the URL. And then it's also within the context of the website, of the article. And one thing I really want to highlight is you don't want to put your keywords too much into your article, because Google now penalizes you if you have too much. I would say this type of article, I only need to reference it maybe 2 to 3 times, to tell you the truth. One in the beginning, maybe once in the middle, and one towards the end.
So the key is the length of the content then, because people used to stuff keywords more and stuff like that. But is it the length now, and
Yes.
it gives it the juice more than the number of keywords?
Yes. So now it's all about the value of the content, that it has a lot of information. The other thing is that it's user friendly. So Google likes it when you break up your content into these large fonts, which in WordPress is like H tags. So this is an H tag. I don't want to get too technical. But basically, if you break up your content, use bold, use italics, use I think I use numbers too. Yeah, little bullet points, that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff. When you're writing for your user and writing for your audience, it automatically is going to be a benefit for Google because that's what they want. They don't want just a really big paragraph with no space, no bullets, no numbers, no pictures, no videos, and a whole bunch of keywords. They're going to say, this isn't good for the user. I'm not going to rank this type of website. So it's important to have all of that. So just a couple, key takeaways that you can do on your own website today is make sure that you do keyword research, have it in your title, have it a couple times. Like I said, don't overdo it in your web content. Create links to other people, other valuable resources that are related to that article. If you can create a YouTube video that's related to this, then perfect. And then make sure that you title your tags. And that's really all it is to it. You don't have to get too complicated. And I'll show you in WordPress too how that all works. All right, so I'm going to go on to the next slide. Here's a list of a couple key plugins that you can use that's going to really help you. And I'll give this list to John so that way you, if you guys want to reference it, you can always see it. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but basically these are some SEO plugins that will help your website optimize better. For example, Better WordPress Minify, it's going to compress your file size so that your website loads faster. So web speed is really important for ranking on Google too. If your website loads really slow, Google doesn't like that. It's not good for your users because they're not going to want to wait around for your website to load. And then Google says, hey, that's not a good thing either. So making sure your website loads fast can really help you with your search engine optimization. The other plugin I recommend is All-in-One SEO, which, oops, I moved this. All-in-One SEO is a great plugin because it allows you to update your meta description, and I'll show you what that is when we get inside. Broken Link Checker is a plugin where it checks if you have links in your website that are not valid. So for example, if you have a link in your website that no longer works, you'll get like a 404 page, which is like essentially is an error page. Google doesn't like error pages. So Broken Link Checker is a plugin that will check your website to make sure you don't have any of those error pages. And there's some other ones. Google XML Sitemap, which will help you create a sitemap. SEO Smart Links kind of helps you link within your post and within your website. And then you also Twitter, Facebook, social share. So this is all great because you want to be able to share your content on social media and have it get shared as well. So that's really key too. Is you can see I have this social share. This is a Flare plugin that I use, but it allows people to share my content over social media, and so that way it's also an indicator to Google like, hey, this is a really good content. People are sharing it, so we should probably think of indexing this and ranking it high on Google. All right. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. Do you have any questions flowing in yet?
Not yet on that. I think they're saving them up.
I think everybody's busy taking notes. You know what would be great, Anthony, is I know I am. If we got those links from you or some of this, those suggested WordPress plugins, we could probably put them on the replay page.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely send
afterwards.
that.
So that'd be awesome.
Or Anthony, can you make a PDF of your slides?
Yeah,
maybe?
I'll send you the PDF of the slides. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be great. We can put that on the replay page for everybody here. So.
Okay, cool. So I know nobody wants to look at slides all day. I just want to go through the recipe, and then I'll go into all the fun stuff where I actually show you how I do it. So recipe number 4 is backlinks. Now that you have the keyword, you created your website, you have all this great content on it, this is the really key to search engine optimization is what they call backlinks. And just like I had linked out to Podcast Answer Man, he's getting a backlink from my website. You want to essentially get backlinks from other websites pointing back to your website. So how can you get websites linking back to you? A couple things. You can get it linked from social media, which is why I have Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Twitter. These are all social links back to you. Authority sites. So how do you get backlinks from authority sites, one of the best ways is guest blogging. Now, Google just shared over the weekend too that they are penalizing people who create these really poor guest blogs where it's 300 word, 400 word articles, and they're just the only reason why they created it was to get a backlink, and they create these fake accounts and they write these really these articles that are just created for backlinks, and now Google's actually penalizing that. So the moral of the story is, if you're doing a guest blog, same analogy or same example, make sure that it's really good stuff, that it's a big mega post, like 2,000 words, pictures, videos, all that good stuff. Make sure it's really good content, and then so when you send a backlink from that post, Google's going to say, hey, this is a really good guest blog article, it's highly related, and I'm going to give you this page authority, and then whatever link that it's going to, that page is also going to be highly relevant. So make sure that if you're doing guest blogging, make sure it's really high quality content. Now, article marketing, some people say that it still works, some people say it doesn't. I say if you do it, it's just the same philosophy. Make sure it's highly valuable content, it's long, it's not like these minis. In SEO world, people used to do what they call like spinning articles, where they would take one article and they use this software system and they'll just change the words a little bit and say, okay, this is a new article. Well, Google's catching on to that stuff, so don't try that spinning article stuff. That stuff is it's back, SEO of 2003. It doesn't work anymore. So and now hopefully if we have some time, I'll dive into Google Analytics. And this is a screenshot of a niche website that I created. That in about a year time frame, there was about 164,000 unique visitors to this niche website. All right, so now comes to the fun stuff, because I really like live example. I don't like to PowerPoint people to death or keynote people to death. All right, so let's talk about some live examples here. How do we do this? And I'm sorry, I'm going to basically use WordPress as an example. Hopefully, people that are tuning into this use WordPress, and if you don't, this stuff is very universal, so you should be able to figure out how to do the same thing. Blog content management system. So I'm just going to go into a blog post. You know what? Before I do that, I should go into Keyword Planner, because we started with recipe number 1, right? Recipe number 1 was how to do keyword research. So let me log into. Oh, I'm going too fast. I'm sorry. All right. So if you want to find Google Keyword Planner, just go to Google and type in Keyword Planner. It's going to be the first one that shows up. And you can use a Gmail account to log in. And when you get into this screen, you're going to have this option to choose Home, Campaign, Opportunities, or Tools. You're going to click on Tools, and you can click on the first one. It says Search for New Keyword and Add Group Ideas. So in this case, I created a workout niche website about the Insanity workout. So I'm just going to type in Insanity workout and click Get Ideas. From here, there's a tab called Keyword Ideas, and you're going to click on that. And you're going to see that the Insanity workout has an average monthly search of about 450,000 unique organic searches per month. A couple of things. Now, it says competition, it says medium. This competition is not necessarily the competition of how to get ranked. This is the competition of people who want to bid for ads. So don't think that because this says low, that it's going to be an easy word to rank for. Sometimes it correlates, but sometimes it doesn't. This is actually an indicator for advertising, like how much money they had to spend to get their keyword ranked on Google. So as you can see, you can get some really cool ideas from using Keyword Planner to figure out what people are searching for. You want to see if people even like what you're trying to serve. I think most people in this audience might be in the medical field, so you might be saying, hey, you know what, I don't know, like dental plan. I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not really sure what keywords, but I'm just going to type in something like dental plan, and you can see there's 4,400 monthly searches for the keyword dental plan. So that's one way to do keyword research. The other tool that I mentioned was Market Samurai, which is a paid tool that I had purchased. It's a one-time thing. I think it's like $150. It works really great. And why this is a great tool is you can do competition analysis and really see how hard it is to rank for certain keywords. So I'm not going to get too much into this because it's going to be really technical, but long story short, why this tool is really great is you can see how competitive that keyword is to rank. So for example, keyword workout schedule. This tool can basically analyze that keyword and tell you from a color standpoint and number standpoint if it's easy or difficult. So red means this is a lot of hard stuff, green means it's easy, and yellow means it's medium. So just from a quick snapshot visually, green and yellow is a pretty good indicator that I could rank for this keyword if I wanted to.
And that's pretty accurate, that indication.
Yeah. Yes, so this tool uses, it pulls information from DMOZ, SEO Majestic, all these other SEO tools and softwares out there. It uses all of that information and it pushes it all together.
So it's definitely worth it then versus
Yes,
the
I used
keyword
it.
planner.
That's my main keyword research tool. So I definitely recommend it. So the second one is we talked about recipe was valuable content, and we talked about how writing long blog posts is important. I'm just going to go into one of these keywords or one of these articles that I wrote. Let's see, where is it at? Oh, it's a page.
And guys, you can ask questions. I know this is a lot of content. You're just probably like taking notes, but feel free to in the chat bar anytime you have a question, and then we'll get a main session at the end.
Okay, so in your WordPress, where you put your keyword, let's say I'm ranking for the keyword Focus T25 workout schedule. So just to show you what this looks like in WordPress, this is a niche website that gets over 126,000 organic visits a year. And what's amazing about this is I haven't touched this website in over a year. But for example, this blog post I wrote for Focus T25 workout schedule, it's a really long post as you can see. And I have images, I have links. You can see how much content I put into this. And just to show you why this ranks so well, if I type in Google, you're going to see that it's not ranked 1, but it's I think ranked number 4. So it's the same article. And what I did for this particular article is I put the keyword in my title and make sure that it was in this web address right here. And if you can edit if you want to, you can edit this web address if you need to. Same thing we talked about. We linked it out. I linked it out to the company who owns this website, or I'm sorry, the fitness video Beachbody. So in WordPress, if you just want to highlight a word, any word, whatever your keyword is, and then there's this little link button, and you can basically type in the web address that you're linking out to, and that's how you create a link out to an authority site. And then obviously I had the keyword within my content. I talked about having it bullet points and also headers. So you can have you can add headers in WordPress, and then bolding things just to make it easier. So essentially, if you make this user friendly for your readers, it's going to be great for SEO.
And you want to use your keyword in those segments in between, like to use like an H2 headline with keyword in it. Is that how you bracket your content?
I use H2 right here. This is an H2 heading tag. I use an H3 heading tag right here.
And do those give you more Google juice than like the regular text?
Yes, yes. So your title already, this right here is automatically, if your theme is created the right way, it should be an H1 tag. And the rest you can manipulate as H2 and H3. So the other thing that you want to do is, I talked about the all-in-one SEO plugin, and this is what the software looks like inside of WordPress. And what this is that these are called these are your preview snippets that's going to show when someone searches for this is what people see in Google. So this
Anthony, could you magnify your screen a little bit?
Sure, let me see. I hope I'm not losing anybody out there. Okay, so you can see right here,
That's great.
this right here is what you see when you search for, oops, I have too many screens now. When you search for Google, this is what people are going to read. And so you have the ability to manipulate this. You can change your title, you can change your description. As you see, I can type right here and it's going to change my snippet. And then you can also tell them in Google what your keywords are right here. So I made sure that my keyword is in my title. I made sure that I referenced it just once. You don't have to reference it, 2 or 3 times. You just reference it once in your description, and then you tell them in your keywords. And that's it. I don't stuff my keywords. I don't like put a whole bunch of keywords in this keyword tag. And that's essentially all there is to with on-page SEO. It's writing valuable content, making sure that it's related to your audience, making sure that you reference it only like 2 or 3 times in your text, and then changing your title tags as we talked about right here, or your meta tags in your
All right.
all-in-one SEO plugin.
Right. And is that the best plugin, you think?
I like it. It's the most user-friendly for beginners. Now there's Yoast, which is way more advanced, and it would probably just confuse and overwhelm people. So whenever I tell people who they're just doing SEO for the first time, use all-in-one SEO because it provides you everything you need, and you don't have to worry about all the other extra stuff that may confuse you.
All right. Sounds
Right.
good.
So we just talked about on-page SEO, and then it's almost okay. So I only have about 5 minutes left before questions. So I just want to maybe dive into something really important in Google Analytics. And to get to Google Analytics, you can either just Google Analytics, and then it'll show up. It should be google.com/analytics, and then you can you add in your Gmail account, you'll get access to it. But one thing I want to share with you is I started this website back in April 15, 2013. And I just started doing SEO, and when I first started, just like many people get frustrated, they only get like 20 visits a day, 40 visits a day. As you can see right here, I only had like 21, 49. And I started doing some SEO. And I want to just share with you that I just consistently wrote good content. I shared it on social media, worked on getting some backlinks from guest blogging. And then, nothing happens. It's just like working out. You're like, oh, after a month, I don't really see any results. It's the same thing here. So SEO takes time. It takes at least like 3 months. So you see, after 1 month, I only had about 293 visitors. So it went up, but not a lot. And then I kept doing it. So now it's like April, May, and then June. By the third month, I don't know if you can see this, but in the third month, I had 1,300 visitors in one day.
Wow.
So that's kind of like working out. P90X talks about 90 days. Stick with it for 90 days, and you're going to see some amazing results. So that's why I'm going to share with you with SEO. It's a long-term game, but once you do it, and once you get it, the SEO right, you're going to see that it pays off. So this is my current 30 days, and you're going to see that I have 18,000 visits in the past 30 days, and this consistently over every single month. It just stays like this. And so I challenge the people who are listening to just stick with it. Take my advice, just stick with it for 3 months, see what happens, see what results you're going to get, because that's what happens is people they get frustrated after a month and they don't see any results. Well, it's because it takes time to grow. It takes time to build that authority in Google and that trust factor.
Wow. Yeah. So why does it take so long? Is it just because it takes a while to get that many backlinks and that many things to your site? Is that what it is, or?
Yeah. So the first month, Google's trying to figure out where to position you. There's this terminology called the Google dance, and basically. It's interesting when you do this. When you first start, let's say I just typed in the Focus T25 workout schedule. When I first started, I would see my listing maybe at like number 40, and then it would jump around to number 60, and the next day it would jump to number 30. The first month, Google is trying to figure out where to put your content. You're a new published post. They're trying to say, oh, this is kind of cool stuff, but in comparison to everybody else's work out there, they're trying to figure out how closely it's relevant to what people are searching for, what the quality level is, how many backlinks are coming to it, all that stuff that we talked about. They're trying to figure out. So the first 30 days, they're trying to figure out where to place you in the beginning, and then the next 2 months, they're also tracking all the content on the web, because think about it. There's over 32 billion web pages in the internet, and Google is running these little robots out, and they're indexing all these pages, and so they're filtering through all this information, and they do it pretty quickly, but it takes some time for them to check out all the websites and figure out where to place it. And so in the meantime, if you continue to add content, you drive backlinks, you share it on social media, all of that stuff is happening in the background, and essentially you will start seeing results. The beauty of it is when you first start, I talked about 90 days. When you first start, that's the hardest part. But after that, it's kind of like working out, right? After 90 days of working out, you're in the best shape of your life, and you can do anything you want, right? You can run fast, you can jump higher, you can lift weights. Everything seems to come easier. It's the same way with SEO. After 90 days, you can put up a blog post, and it gets ranked so much quicker because Google has already found that, hey, this is a great-looking website. It provides valuable content. Now every time you publish a new blog post, it gets ranked quicker. Your new articles get ranked quicker because you've already built that trust factor with Google that your website is a good website.
Wow. I see. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's amazing. So what's the best way for folks to get started with that? I mean, do they just need to start once a week? Is it best to just start once a week and then put out a lengthy article once a week? I mean, what if people are, that might be for a blogger, but what about a video creator or a podcaster? Like would they want their show notes pages to be extremely long or with a lot of content? Or?
So I'm gonna share with you something really interesting. It's kind of like when you're finding your keywords, you want to find maybe 2 to 3 keywords that are going to be your primary keywords that are going to have the most high volume traffic, that's going to be relatively easy to get ranked, and that it's that you can actually create content for. So I'm going to share with you something that's interesting. Is my website, the one that has all this, I'm trying to find this link. Okay, so in Google Analytics, I'm going to click on landing pages. And landing pages means when someone searches on Google, what's the page that they land on? You're going to see that my top 3 keywords, in this particular case, Focus T25 workout schedule, Focus T25 nutrition guide, and standard workout schedule, generates probably about 80% of my traffic. Right here, it generates about 13,000 visitors in the past month from one keyword, from one blog post. You guys see that? So what I mean by that is when you do the keyword research and you find the right content to write about, you're going to get a lot of traffic. So it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So because I took the time to write this article really well, took the time to write a really long article, took the time to optimize it correctly, took the time to drove backlinks to it from guest blogging, 80% of my results are, 80% of my traffic, where am I? 80% of my traffic is coming from this one keyword. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how do you know that? Does the site will automatically keep track of that? Your analytics will automatically do that for you, and then you just go to landing pages and find the best performing keywords?
Yes. Once you set up your Google Analytics, you go to landing pages.
Wow.
And then you'll see where most people are landing, what people are finding on your website. And you're going to see which one's your top performing keywords and top performing pages. So even though
I wrote a golden nugget right there.
Yeah,
that's a golden nugget.
Even though you're writing all these other articles, and I'm still getting, I wrote other articles that are getting ranked that I'm getting traffic for, but 80% of my traffic is coming from maybe my 2 or 3 top keywords.
Wow.
So a lot of people think like, oh, I have to write, an article every single day or have to write every single week. Not necessarily true. If you publish maybe one really good, gigantic article, every 2 weeks or even once a month, but you did a good job of it and you did a great job of sharing it on social media and you drove a lot of backlinks to it, you can still get a lot of traffic.
Interesting. So if someone say like I don't write blog posts really. I mean, I do video and I do podcasts, and we basically do videos like this and repurpose them into audio and stuff like that. And we create a little bit of show notes pages, but not much. So if someone was a podcaster or another kind of producer, it would probably be good for them to start a blog on their website and just write one a month, right? Like,
Right.
wouldn't that be like a huge strategy if you did that for 4 or 5 months? You'd probably start picking up some traffic if you did it
Yes,
right, huh?
so same thing with YouTube, right? I created this video I think back in January, and you can see the statistics right here. It didn't pick up, and it didn't get indexed right away in Google, but it slowly each month by month, but maybe like month 3 started getting indexed in Google, and as you can see, my views and traffic just went up from there.
Hmm.
So it's the same philosophy in YouTube SEO, in Google SEO. You just have to be patient, and you just have to keep trusting that this formula, it works. It's worked for me in my old website. It's working for my new website. It's working for my clients' websites. Don't try any like funny stuff. There's all kinds of products out there that are gonna try to sell you on like, oh, if you buy my magic widget for $50, you're gonna get all these crazy backlinks. Avoid those things like the plague, because Google will find out, they will penalize you, and they could easily kick you off, and you'll never get found on search engines ever. So
Wow.
just make sure that you're doing things the right way, doing it the honest way, and you're gonna be fine.
So the biggest strategy for the video is to get the video transcribed. Is that the biggest strategy? Or I mean, because I've taken SEO, YouTube SEO courses and stuff like that, and you obviously there's some other techniques there too, right? But I mean, is that the
Yeah,
biggest
so
thing?
it's the same formula, essentially the same formula for YouTube videos as your blog. You have your keyword in your title, you have your keyword in your little description. Maybe reference it only like once or twice. You don't have to go overboard. So in here I reference I think like maybe 2 or 3 times. Um, you have a link out. In this case, I link to my website, but you could link out to other resources. You transcribe it. So the longer the video with the longer transcription, it's going to get indexed more. So
Okay.
this was about a 7-minute video, um, and it's fully transcribed from beginning to end. So Google can read a lot of this text that I created. And then
What do
I
you
also
get it?
show backlinks to this video page, to this YouTube address right here. You
Hmm.
see this YouTube address where you can share this YouTube address. You take this link and you write guest blog, or you link it on your website. Essentially, you use this as a backlink to this video, and now it tells Google same thing. If there's a lot of likes and shares, people watch the video, it's getting a lot of backlinks, it has great content, then automatically they say, hey, this is a really good video, this is good information. I'm going to go ahead and index this in Google and YouTube.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. How do you get it transcribed? You just have you send it out to a transcriptionist?
For me, I mean, you can. I think there's resources on Fiverr that you can transcribe for like $5 or $10 for
Yeah.
like I think a 5-minute video.
Yep.
I just took the time to do it. I think it took me like 15 minutes to do it. It wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Uh, but whatever your time's worth, you just decide if you want to outsource it, you can do it yourself.
Awesome. Awesome.
Is
Very
there
cool.
is there any questions out there in the crowd?
Yeah, there was a question that came in from Linda. Is just she wanted to know if you were using WordPress for all of your sites that you
Yes.
have. Or
So I do
yeah,
use WordPress for all of my sites, but I do have clients that don't. They use Joomla. I think they've used what's it called? What's the other one? There's other various websites, but in your other blog platforms, you should have the ability to, same thing as just like WordPress. You should be able to have ability to add content. You should have some kind of a WYSIWYG editor where you can bold things, italicize, and you should be able to have ability to add your meta description in some function. So it may not look like this particular dashboard or format, but they should all function essentially the same.
gotcha. Could you? There was a question that came in about repeating what it was that you said Google would penalize you for. So you were talking about using, these other sort of products that are out there.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah. So there's like, for example, I mentioned this in the beginning, which is like article spinner. So there's tools out there like free article spinner. Okay, so you essentially take like this. Let's say I took this blog post. People used to do this back in the days. and they would take a blog post and they would use a tool like something like this, and they would paste it in here, and they would essentially have this thing spun, this article, change the words a little bit. It says spin the text. Whoops.
Again, you don't want to do this, guys.
Yeah. So we're showing you something you don't want to
Don't
do.
do
So
this.
So I'm trying.
what Anthony is saying is there are a lot of people out there that will share products that try to get you to do something quickly, easily, guarantee you to get a lot of searches from it, SEO from it, but it's not helpful for you.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so this one's not working for me right now, but
that's okay, but we get the idea.
They would take an article, they would spin it so it changes the words, and then they would take this new article and they would publish it on another website and try to use that as a backlink to their website. And that used to work. I'm not gonna lie, it used to work. It doesn't work anymore. Google caught onto it. Now they penalize when they find things like that, and you don't want to be into that category. So you want to make sure you write original, high quality content.
Yeah. We had a question from Kat who would like to know, could you define what a backlink is for the audience in kind of simple terms?
Sure. So let me see. I'm just going to go to my website, and I'll go to a blog post. So a backlink in simple terms is just a link back to your website. That's just the best way to describe it. So this is not a good example. Let's see here. Okay, so this for example, I wrote a blog or did a podcast episode, and my guest has this website, Entrepreneur on Fire, and this link right here, when I click on this link, it goes up to his website. So essentially, John is going to get a backlink from my website to his website. And so John is getting the SEO, I guess, link juice, whatever you want to call it, to his website. He's getting the value of SEO. And essentially, you want people to do the same for your website. You want people to have links on their website that's pointing back to your blog post or your website. That's what a backlink is.
Right. So basically, it's a link from someone else's site to your site.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. I have a question for you, Anthony, because you mentioned that Google, changes its algorithms, and I'm sure, I tend to be somewhat following Facebook and all the changes that happen there. That tends to be something I follow very closely. How do you keep up with the changes that Google makes? Like, how do you know when these algorithms change and all of that? Is there some sort of Google broadcast that they put out or something that people follow? Or
Sometimes they do. They have these. They call them. They name them after animals for some reason. So sometimes they'll say like, "Hey, we're gonna have a penguin update," or the panda update. If you follow SEO blogs like SEO Moz or Search Engine Journal, some of those things, you're gonna start seeing people blogging about it. When they hear about an update coming up, they're like, "Oh no, there's a new update coming up in a couple weeks. What is it going to be about? Here's the changes that could come out." And then when it happens, you start hearing all this blog and dialogue on forums stuff. "Oh no, Google released a penguin update and my website got penalized because I was doing article spinning or doing some other black hat stuff." And so if you just follow some SEO blogs, you'll be able to kind of follow this kind of information that flows about these updates that Google pushes out.
Cool. Yeah, I have another question too. It's what's the most important step in that process you just went through? I mean, you touched on keyword research. You touched on a number of things. Does it all start with, if you're a new blogger, finding those few keywords that really nail it for you?
Yes. So it always starts with keyword research, because if you were to try to rank for, I don't know, I think in the medical insurance, this would be a really hard. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are searching for medical insurance, and the keyword I'm pretty sure gets a lot of traffic. Let's say it's medical insurance. I'm just curious for my own. 40,000 for medical insurance.
What's a good number? Like, what should your numbers be?
A minimum of 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah, minimum of 3,000 is a good number. So medical insurance would be a really hard keyword to rank for. And one of the indicators is if you see a lot of ads for this keyword, see on the top left and top right, that means that a lot of people are willing to pay money, advertisement money, to get seen for this keyword medical insurance. That's one indicator that's difficult. And the other tool that I mentioned, I use Market Samurai, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this example. This is why I like Market Samurai, because it allows me to check how competitive this keyword is to see if like I'm wasting my time. I could write a huge 2,000 word blog post, do everything right, but because it's so competitive, then it would not be worth my time because I'm not going to be able to get ranked. So as you can see from Market Samurai, red means bad, like really hard. You can see a lot of red for this keyword. This would tell me automatically, if I didn't know anything about SEO, if I just took a color code, I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to be able to rank for this keyword medical insurance, so I'm not even going to waste my time writing an article about it. So it really starts with keyword research. The rule of thumb with keyword research is make sure that it has a good amount of traffic. Like I said, it doesn't have to have 50,000. It could have like 3,000, 4,000. That's good enough. It has to not be super competitive. If you have a tool like Medical Market Samurai or Longtail Pro, there's tools out there that tells you how competitive it is and if it's easy or not. And then the other thing is just making sure that you, after you know that it has enough traffic and it's relatively easy to rank for, then you take the time to write the content to get that content ranked on Google.
So without that step, you could really be screwed no matter what you did, basically.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So a lot of people, when they first create blog posts or create a blog, they go, "Oh, I'm writing every day, I'm blogging every day, but nothing's happening. Nobody's checking out my website. Nobody's, I can't be found on Google." Well, it's because they're not writing the content based around keywords.
So for John's article, you said, were you targeting his name? Was his name the keyword?
Yes. So in this case, I was trying to target his name, John Lee Dumas.
Yeah.
But I could, like, let's say I was trying to target for podcasting industry or something. I don't know. But I did, with my podcast, I don't really target keywords. I just create content to show notes for my listeners who are subscribed to my podcast. But in other articles, absolutely, I target keywords.
So is it critical for everybody who has an online business to write text content effectively, or is it, because we're not really doing that enough at New Wave? We're not really putting out a lot of text content. It's all just videos like this. I mean, should we be getting at least one rich text blog post out each month?
I recommend it.
Okay.
For example, even though I'm getting a lot of views and I'm getting ranked really high for this YouTube video, I don't necessarily get a lot of conversions from the people watching this video that go back to my website. Even though I have my link to my website here, when I check my Google Analytics, I don't get a lot of people after they watch this video go click on the link. They may get the valuable information and like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go watch another video. You know what I mean?
True.
But if they actually searched on Google and then they found my website and they land on my website and they found this article, then now they're on my website, they're more inclined to stick around on my website and go, oh, what else does this guy have, or what other articles? This looks like an interesting thing. So I recommend having a blog and writing content.
So the written word probably converts better than anything still. I mean, certainly better than audio, and then even better than video as far as clickable, analytics are concerned.
Yes. Now, not saying that video is bad, because video does other things for you. It keeps your audience engaged. They get to learn your personality. They get to a little bit more of a personal connection versus just reading a text. So there's different benefits, pros and cons, for video versus text. So it's really a matter of what your marketing strategy is and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, right.
Anthony, I was wondering, because we are at the top of the hour and we'll be wrapping up shortly, but since you've been going to your website, could you share your website with the viewers, and we'll type it into the chat, because I know you offer such great free resources at your website. I'm sure people would like to learn more. I've been fascinated just in this hour with you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so my website's called marketingaccesspass.com. This is what it looks like if you want to check it out. I offer, as John and Michael had said, I offer free training. So if people want to, they could subscribe and they can get access to video tutorials I create a lot of YouTube training videos, write blog posts. I have ebooks, free webinars. So, if people want to check it out, I offer that type of information.
Right. Yeah, and we just put the website in the sticky note on the comments bar. So if anybody's want to check Anthony out, he's got a lot of great free resources. He's a heck of a nice guy. So it's all value coming out of him. So check him out for sure. I don't see any other.
Stop sharing screens so you guys can talk now.
Yeah, let's do it. So if there's any other questions for Anthony and for us right now, type them in. Otherwise, we're going to wrap things up here in a couple minutes. There's a lot of great content, Anthony. Wow. That was amazing stuff there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start thinking about doing the blog posting at least once a month. It's a lot of work, isn't it? But it's still worth it for the traffic you're gonna get over the long run.
Yeah. Well, what you can do is you can repurpose your transcript of your video and publish the transcript as a blog post. I've done that too.
And that works well. That's does the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you optimize your blog post, your transcription into, headers and bullets and making it content where it's user friendly to read, it has the same value.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. So you have to edit it a little bit then.
Yeah, you got to edit it. I mean, I recommend to edit it. Some people are lazy; they don't want to do that. But
that's me probably. I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. No. Cool. Well, I guess I don't see any other questions. So, Michael, you got anything else, or should we wrap things up?
I think we're ready to wrap up. My brain is full.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah. And for those who are still on, maybe you could give just one more tip, Anthony. Thank you for your time today. But I mean, if they're going to get started, if they're just getting started, what's the first thing that they should do?
Just check out the keyword planner. Just play around with that, just to figure out what type of words people are searching about their niche or their industry, so they can get an idea, and that way they can start brainstorming on what type of content to write about.
Perfect. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up, everybody. Thank you for everybody who attended tonight. A lot of great content there. Anthony, if you could, man, get the PDF of your slides. I'd love to link that up on the show notes.
I'll send that to you.
And we'll put that up on the replay page. Everybody who's still here, we'll have a replay page up on the newwavehealthcare.com website, and it's under the Health Jams show section, and you'll see at the top of that section will be a replay of this with all of the resources that we mentioned, because there was a lot of name dropping during this session today. So you can check it out. You can get Anthony's slides, so you can go through them and kind of digest some of the bird's eye view a little bit more, doing it that way. And that should be it for now. I guess you guys got anything else, or?
Just thank you so much for having me on, guys. I hope that you guys, the listeners, were able to get a lot of value from it.
Looks like we're getting some good comments. So
we are. There's a lot of great comments coming in.
Yeah,
so
that was awesome, Anthony.
Somebody else saying their head hurts, so the head's spinning.
I tried to break it down in simple terms. I know it's a lot out there, but I was gonna say, hey, I wasn't gonna hold back. I was gonna throw it all out there, and hopefully people grab something.
You threw it out. It was great information. I'm gonna be watching this Health Jams episode again, just so I can make sure I pick up stuff. So this is great stuff. So I'll be checking out the replay page myself.
Definitely. And yeah, guys, everybody's watching this. You're going to get a replay of this video. I think it's within 3 hours, Michael?
Yes,
we're going to
3 hours the replay will come.
You can rewatch it. You can go to our replay, go to the newwavehealthcare.com website and go to the Health Jams show section, and we'll have this up here in the next few days so you can get all of the resources and PDF and everything. So, all right, guys, we'll see you all on the next one.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.